What is going on, everybody? 2Bob29. Whoops, clicked the wrong button there. Back in the lounge. Make sure to kick back, relax, grab some snacks, because this one is coming to you very heavily requested. Another Prize Wall video breakdown. I guess some of you like these, some of you don't, but the ones of you that do like these really like these. I've gotten, I want to say, at least a half dozen messages today on Sunday asking, hey, Bob, what would you do for this plate or these characters? Or, Bob, you need to make another breakdown on the prize walls and all that type of good stuff. So here I am. I'm sure you could tell that I'm feeling a little bit better from being sick pretty much all week. It's kind of settled in my chest a little bit, so I apologize if I cough while going through this. But we have the Soulless 1 prize wall. Use your Soulless 1 medallions here for some amazing prizes. Number 1 is the Bayley character. As you all know, no. That is never worth it. In the grand scheme of things, there is always shards and ways to get these characters in the current, I don't want to call it the meta, but the current situation that we have surrounding Showdown and our monthly characters and shard recruits and things like that. So don't ever waste that much prize wall on the character as a whole. That's very silly. And if you even manage to get that much prize wall, you're spending some solid money. So if you're already spending that much, you should kind of know better by now. You don't need me to tell you that. But just in case you did it, there's the contest champion strap, which, again, absolutely shit, to put it very kindly. The extra turn, the immunities, trash. The gem damage, trash. Not worth it. It's not worth trying to roll a 1 out of 6 on this strap for 25,000 prize wall. This one is pretty solid. Okay? We all know Bayley's a move damage character. Very, very solid move damage character, that is. Especially with 99 MP. Still good enough to wipe out anybody's 6-star gold turn 1 post 99 MP as well. So a guaranteed 100% move damage for her. Huge. Very significant. That being said, and I will take a quick little detour before we continue on, there is the month-long prize wall with the Becky gear, the moments, all that stuff. For those of you that don't know, there's a title section here. A lot of you probably think that all this is good for are these 100% gem damage straps. That's what I thought too, especially when this first came out. I was not aware that not only do they have, 60s and 40s and all that other stuff, they have these weird worded medals. Don't ever do that either. But if you keep on scrolling down, bam. They have guaranteed class era straps. So for example, they have Modern Trickster, gem damage, Modern Showboat, gem damage, Modern Striker, gem damage, which you'll see I already took a shot at, as most of you that have been following my gameplay. My everything for a 100% Modern Striker strap still goes on. There is a New Gen Acro, New Gen Powerhouse, New Gen Trickster gem damage straps. And you can click into these and you can see what will drop. So 40, a 50, a 60, a 100. Those are your drop chances. But it's a guaranteed of the era and the class that you want. So circling back to what we were just discussing, the Bayley one. Well, what about this one? Modern era, striker. It's genderless. All of these are genderless, so it's male or female. This is a move damage belt. You're either going to get a 40, a 50, or a 100. That's it. That's your only drop chances. So for 1,200 prize wall on the month-long midweek, I would probably suggest you start there first and foremost, to see if that's what you're really chasing before you pick up a 100-piece here, because you're guaranteed to get a move damage. You're guaranteed it's going to be her class and era combination. And worst case scenario, it's a 40%. Bayley doesn't need 100%. It's a nice add-on. But if you're really strung up and you're like, man, I really want this 100-piece, then yeah, a guaranteed 100 isn't horrible. The price tag is a bit rough, though. Back to this, the contest strap for LA Knight. No. Again, these contest straps, it's a nice price tag, but the fact that it's essentially Modern Trickster, but only him, and again, there's these 3 top bonuses, which are trash. And if you include the 40%, that's pretty standard to have a Modern Trickster 40%er. That's pretty trash. So nah, as the strap says, nah, not today. There's the 2 new plates, which I'm not going to go through a whole plate reaction video thing. I'm just going to tell you flat out, I really don't like them. Like, I really don't. This Control Freak one, whenever you make 6 or more silence, get 100% gem damage for 1 turn. Okay. And then what? Like, it's not good. It might help someone out a minuscule amount. It is not going to help make your Bailey, unstoppable killer that she already is. It's not like she's not. It's not going to turn her into an unstoppable killer. If there's, a new rarity down the road, whether it's 7-star bronze or 6-star rainbow or whatever the fuck you want to call it, this isn't going to magically make her hit so much harder than what she's already capable of hitting. Nor is this going to help anybody else in the game that much. There's been plenty of content creators out there doing videos on this. You're not going to see much of a huge increase in anybody's damage output from this plate. It's just not that good. Doesn't mean it won't be good moving forward. Doesn't mean it won't help somebody else out moving forward, that they have a generate silence and a choose move that ends up not moving the pin bar and recycling itself and the silence move, and maybe you could stack this numerous times, but this is not a great plate. It really, really isn't. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. And on that same note, this LA Bite plate, man, I hate to skip over all these other plates, but I'm going to just for a moment. Let's read this together. Whenever you activate a blue move, increase your blue jump damage by 50% for 1 turn. Let's just round it 9,000. Whenever you activate a yellow move, increase your yellow jump damage by 50% for 1 turn. That seem familiar? Oh, it does. Oh, it's the same exact writing, except this is 4.5 times the price? Like, this is just unfortunate. This is ridiculous. This is a ridiculously overpriced skill plate. It truly, honestly is. And as a lot of you can see up here, I haven't spent a penny, actually. I was debating. I was actually debating, do I drop 2 megas? 2 megas to guarantee myself this LA Bite plate and a Bite Man's armor and maybe a crown and some other things that are on this wall. And I took a second look at it and I'm like, you know what? This wall just ain't for me this time. It really isn't. This LA Bite plate is it's arguably in my book worse than the Heartstopper. The LA Bite is yellow gems. We already have a plus 600% yellow gem damage plate in the Piper Pyro Ultimate plate. The situation of you having someone that prioritizes yellow gems, that uses yellow moves, that doesn't use pyro gems, that is somehow going to magically be made into an absolute hitter because of this plate is like next to nothing. It might happen. They might make someone, but it doesn't exist right now. It really doesn't. The characters that already exist are either good enough without this, or if they have this doesn't turn someone who's already hitting 60 or 70 mil into hitting 70 or 80 mil into a world beater. That just doesn't exist. It's a nice plate to have. It's a nice addition to anyone's roster. It's a zombie plate, so you're probably not going to see it until Spring Outbreak or next October again. And that is the one thing that, like, it's hanging over my own head. It's like FOMO. And it's like, am I really missing out, though? I'm struggling real hard with this one to see if there's a reason as to why I would go out of my way to purchase 2 more megas to guarantee myself to max out the event, to get enough prize wall, to get this plate, and hopefully enough for another plate still. It just doesn't do it for me. It's unfortunate. Again, they came out with 2 brand new skill plates, and both of them are just, they're not it. They are just not good enough. And they're both limited time plates because it's Zombies Month alone. I might cave. I might spend the 1 mega or the 2 megas, but man, the more that I look into this, the more that I kind of talk with people about it, I don't think I can. I really, really don't. I think I'm going to convince myself that this weekend is just moving on and forgetting about these plates ever having existed in the first place, because they're not going to be the life or death of me moving forward. My faction might get enough prize wall where I get enough for the LA Bite plate, but honestly, I would almost rather have a Bite Man's armor plate than an LA Bite plate. The Bite Man's armor proved to be fantastic this past boss battle that we had for red gems. This is make 6 or more subs and get your red gem damage by 200% for 2 turns. It's a great plate. It's already half off compared to what it was 2 weeks ago. It's a fantastic plate. Can go on a numerous amount of people. Yeah, I know I was talking about it 2 weeks ago, like it was essentially just a better version of the Gremlin's Ears for 1 gem and a worse version because it's only 1 gem and not 2 gems. But that 1 gem, when it becomes the center point of what your damage output is, it can be, life or death for a lot of people when it comes to boss battle. And I am someone that in my faction, I carry a lot of people in boss battle. That would be a nice plate to be able to pick up to help people out. The Tama plate, very self-explanatory for a lot of people. This is the Julius plate. This is what makes Julius Creed worthwhile. This is what makes Julius Creed good nowadays. 6 or more trap gems, increase your purple gem by 300%. It's only 1 turn, but that alone is a significant amount on Julius because his move also increases his own purple gem damage. So now you have a plate increase in the purple gem and a move increase in the purple gem, and then everything goes purple. It helps. It's a big win. I would almost argue that this is still the win on the entire wall if you don't have one. So it's very difficult to kind of wrap my head around either of these 2 plates. It's tough. It's really, really tough. The Unbreakable Crown, a nice addition too. And you can see this is also chopped in half. The idea of getting a Bite Man and a crown, essentially both half off, buy one, get one, is how I'm viewing it. That'd be a really nice pickup for a lot of people. The crown is break 7 or more yellow gems, generate 20 green gems. It's a mini Ghostbuster plate, mini Seance plate, whatever you want to call it. It's a great plate. There's a couple of people in the game that'll use this plate. I don't really know off the top of my head if it fits everybody's gameplay style because it might not be turn 1, but it might be turn 2 or turn 3, but it's a very consistent damage output plate. There's obviously the Sheriff's Badge. Everybody's talked about the badge. 15 or more red gems generate 30 yellow gems. It's great on KO. It's great on, a few people like Trickster, Bubba Ray Dudley. It's great on a few people for sure. The Heartstopper plate, we just talked about it. It's the blue version of the LA Bite plate, but it's actually a feasible price. If the LA Bite plate was this, then I would be telling you all, yeah, go for it. Get the LA Bite plate. But it's, 4.5 times this. It's brutal. It's not even rough. It's not it's brutal. It's crazy to think that you would spend all of your prize wall on this one plate, which isn't even remotely as good as a Piper plate. And this plate that isn't going to make anybody in the game currently just absolutely kill everything. It's wild. If you had 40k and you didn't have a Tama chest, I would tell you to take the Tama plate so that you can put it on Julius Creed or on Tama himself. It's a solid plate, and this, for all we know, we might get some other people that are going to be great with it. You don't know. The General's Hand, this one is already on the month-long prize wall. where if you get your 4 medallions, you can redeem it for this. I wouldn't suggest wasting the prize wall here. And I wouldn't even suggest getting it on that wall. It's an okay plate. It's nothing crazy. 6 or more sub-gems, gain 3 purple and yellow MP. If this was just gain 3 MP, maybe I could see it being worth it, but it's purple and yellow only. A lot of people use this for TNM Undertaker, the Showboat Taker, that is, Ministry Taker, whatever you want to call him. People like to use it for Gunther with his triple purple setup. It's not a bad plate. It's just nothing that's... It's nothing that you're going to lose sleep over not having. The last Ride to Hell plate, whenever you make 15 or more trap gems, increase your green gems by 200%. This is essentially a weaker version of the Tama plate. You need to make 15 traps instead of 6 traps, and you only get 200% instead of 300%, but it's green instead of purple. That's the one thing to note. So you need to make 9 more trap gems, you lose 100% gem damage, and it's green instead of purple. So pretty self-explanatory there. A lot of people like using that for Dexter Lumis. Some people like using it for Zombie Undertaker. I've had one forever and have never used it. And that's kind of my fear with this LA Bite plate, that if my faction does get me enough prize wall up here and I do decide, you know what, I don't want a Bite Man, I don't want to get another crown, I don't want to get another Heart Stopper, I'm not really bothered by any of this, I'm just going to get the LA Bite plate, that it's going to be a plate that's just going to sit not in use for the next year. That's where my concern comes in. Shard counts. Shards are always fantastic for characters that you do not own. 100 count for the Usos twice. Very solid. Bianca Belair, 75 piece, but it's only once for those of you that are close to getting your Bianca Belair shard count. 40 for Shawn, 100 for Foley, 50 piece for Taker 5 times. The price tags on all these are actually not all that horrible. The Usos are a little bit pricey, but they're not that bad. I'm not a fan of charging $2,500 for a 40-piece limit 1. I don't think many people are that close enough to Shawn to recruit him. So for zombie recruits, this seems like it's pretty limited to the Tusos. If you want to say, you know, I'm done with the plates and I want to get the Tusos, and that's a very good argument too. If you want to get Bianca, the Taker shards are there, but he's nothing more than a CSS nowadays. People don't even use his coach. More characters down here. Speaking of the Taker we were talking about, 65 shards for 10,300 limit 2. That's very, very pricey for Taker right there. 100 piece for Liv for 6,500 is about the same as the Tusos. Again, if you enjoy the idea of trying to get a new character and recruiting them over Zombies Month, that's not a horrible price. It's not fantastic, but it's not a horrible pricing. And then last but not least, our Jacob Fatu shards, which again, I am still in shock that they are making this available. He, to me, is the best character in our game. He is the most versatile. He is the most flexible. He is the go-to for feud, for showdown, for boss, for anything and everything under the sun. If you don't have him, I would tell you to skip everything else on this wall and get your Jacob Fatu shards until you get him. That's my absolutely honest feedback. The Ultimate Power Zombie strap, I'm glad that they highlighted that it's zombie only on this one. Nothing crazy worth chasing. Legendary straps are not worth it. High bonus chances are sometimes worth it. If you can get the affiliation, which is a 1 out of 11 chance, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the none does count out of 11. But then you need to hit on this too, which is 4 eras and 6 classes. So not really ideal. You need to hit 1 out of 24 for your era class combo, and then 1 out of 11 for the affiliation. So not really worthwhile there. The strap parts, not really crazy worth it. I mean, again, this is your cleanup section. Strap parts, star fragments are nice, always have been, always will be. These bundles of tokens are not sincerely worth it with how much they cost for this prize wall. I would tell you to just spend it on your monthly prize wall. Not the midweek, but the actual monthly prize wall. The token chest, 1 of them for 800, not worth it. Again, this is more your cleanup section and 2 million coins. So yeah, for me, I mean, I will be very honest and transparent with you all. I don't think that I'm going to go for anything up here. I don't want the straps. I don't want the Bailey. The only thing here would be the 100%er for Bailey. I've got a 50. She does just fine without it. This Control Freak plate is not even remotely close to on my radar. It is so subpar. I am not going to be losing sleep over not having it. The LA Bite plate is the one that I'm kind of contending with. I don't really like the idea of getting it, of how much it costs, of it sitting on my account for a year of me not using it. But depending on how much the faction might get, I may get enough to get it for free, in essence, because I haven't spent anything this weekend. Doesn't mean I haven't spent on the month. I already have 2 Tama plates. One is in use on Julius, another one's in use in case I get somebody else that I really want it for. The other thing that I'm sitting here honestly debating between is, do I get the Bite Man, do I get the Crown instead of getting the LA Bite plate? The Bite Man would be new for me, so I'm debating if I want to just go that route and get me a Bite Man, or do I want to say to myself, the Bite Man is worth enough for me to spend that 2 megas that I was discussing earlier in this video. I don't think that I really want to. I'm very content on shards on all these characters. I don't need to worry about them. These straps are not worth it. Star fragments will probably be what I always clean up on, followed by coins. Those will be, I think, the typical things that I go to. I might pick up another heart stopper if I decide to go with the Bite Man Crown route. I'm very, very up in the air right now because I don't like the idea of missing out on a plate, but I really don't like this plate. Like, I really despise this plate because this is just bad. This one, the Heartstopper helped Wesley. The Bubba Specs helps, Big Papa Pump. It helps them be a little more comfortable in how much damage they can hit. I just don't know that there's going to be someone out there that I'm going to need to go from 40 or 50 mil to 60 or 70 mil. And if that's even the case, will this plate be the key to doing it? And is that going to be someone that I'm going to use moving forward in this game when I already have enough people that hit 70, 80, 100 million without this plate as is? And then the contrary comes in of, what about moving forward to that 7-star, 6-star rainbow, whatever you want to call it, new rarity? I don't think this plate is going to be the thing to keep someone up to speed. So it's very difficult for me where I'm sitting right now to tell you all what I will be doing. I know a lot of you always ask, well, Bob, what are you doing? I'm not really sure. I may just get the Bite Man. I might get a second Crown. I might get a second Heartstopper. And I might just clean up the rest. Or I might just go ahead and get this plate that I really don't like just so that I don't miss out on it. And that's where that FOMO kicks in. The more that I talk about it, even in this video, I think the less likely I am to drop those 2 megas to get both of these plates combined. But time will tell. We will see. I will gladly discuss this on the upcoming podcast, which will be on the 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern in the Discord server. If you haven't been able to attend one of those, feel free to stop on by. But I appreciate each and every last one of you for listening on in to this Prize Wall breakdown evaluation video. Hopefully it helped you make a decision or two on your own. I'm still, deciding what to do on my end, which that's something for me to worry about. But hopefully you all had a good showdown weekend. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that fancy stuff. Leave some commentary below for sure so that I can definitely respond. You can tell me what you got from the wall. You can tell me what you're debating on. Hopefully I'll be able to help you all out that way as well. And have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And I'm looking forward to week number 4, where hopefully a lot of us can get Mr. Zombie LA Knight for weekend 4. But that'll be it for me here. Have a wonderful one, everybody.